All right, y'all, time is running out. Now I'm looking at the forecast coming up, and in a few days there is just rain in the schedule for a good portion of the week. So I want to get our rainwater harvesting in place. In the next few days I'm going to get my gutter set up, the pipe set up, and hopefully we'll be ready to catch that rain. And it's just going to take a little time because my roof is so long, 110 feet from one end to the other. So it's a lot of gutters, it's a lot of pipes. Check and see how I put all this together. Now first off, I was able to score 12 4-inch 10-foot PVC pipes. These were not easy to get. They weren't at my local Home Depot. I actually had to go quite a distance in order to get these. Some materials have gone up in price and some materials are hard to get, including these. So right now, I'm going to take some time and I'm going to prep these. I'm going to paint these up to add longevity to the PVC material and make it look a little nicer too. Now first up, I'm just going to wrap one of the ends of the PVC pipe so I don't get any paint on there, so the glue sticks a little bit better. Now I ended up picking up a glossy black paint. I was going to go with a matte black, but the gloss had a 2-pack, so it was a little bit cheaper and there was a lot more of it. So I'll just go with the glossy one. Not too big of a difference as far as we're concerned, but use the kind of paint you want. Get creative with it. So I tell you, I am definitely in a rush to get this stuff done. I got out this morning and I could smell the moisture in the air. Those rains are coming and we got to be ready. So I got a lot of pipes to clean and paint, so I'll bring you guys back when everything's all set. So what are you doing here?
Getting a snuffle mat.
So yesterday I worked hard and I got all the PVC painted, but now it's time to get down and dirty. We have got to get the rest of these gutters up. Basically, we got to do everything today. Maybe we got a little time tomorrow, but we're gonna try and get the bulk of everything done today. I don't think it'll be too bad, but let's get going, y'all. We gotta get that rain. Nice clean line right there. Looking good. All right, let's get the first piece attached. I will have to paint a little more on here. Obviously, it's going to be a bunch left over. I kind of made this line according to how it fits in on the bell end. So I'm attaching the first of my pipe hangers, just making it out of painted 2x4s. And then I found an old piece of our old piping, and I'm going to use this as a kind of guide because this is going to be, the first piece is going to be important. So I use this as a guide before I put that big pipe on. Pretty smart, huh? That's to you, Jess. Is that pretty smart?
Yep.
I think that'll be perfect, huh? I'm using my pants pouch. Trying out a different pair of pants.
Cat pants.
My cat pants. See how they work. Alrighty, first one in. Should drop right in, right? Looks like it drops right in.
Yes.
So Jess is helping out, putting some of the hangers together, putting them painting skills to use over here, huh?
It's not very good painting skills.
That's sticky.
trying to do it quickly and it's getting kind of messy.
All right, well, we are back at it again today. Now, we lost a lot of time yesterday. I was having trouble putting the boards up along the fascia like I've been doing here for these past few hooks. I ended up picking up a little tool, just a little attachment that I could put on my impact driver. I can kind of reach up and drill into these tight spaces. Not too expensive, and this will definitely come in handy. So I gotta hurry up because it could rain. You just gotta be ready for it when it does. So I'm gonna just keep hustling and try and get as much done. Hopefully I can beat the rains. I don't know. Third pipe is in, and we're getting close to the second downspout. It'll require me to cut off a little section of pipe, then a T, and then I can continue on from there. Very exciting. Would you look at this? It's raining while I'm trying to harvest the rain. Unbelievable. I guess we'll test out how well I seal these gutters. Maybe I gotta put out some buckets. All right, Jess, you ready?
Ready?
Are you? Because I don't see you. Oh, there you are. What pipe is this, girl?
5.
50 feet of pipe. We are getting there. Almost halfway. Yeah! maybe I should save that to the end, huh? So I already sealed up the inside of these gutters. I want to go over the outside with a clear Flex Seal. Probably do a couple coats on the inside, a couple coats on the outside. Make sure it's nice and sealed up. Good morning. Day 3 of getting the new rainwater harvesting system set up. I probably actually could have finished this or almost close to finish this yesterday, but we made a last minute design change. I think this will work out well, but we'll see soon. I got another section of pipe up last night, and I got 2 more to go today, and then time to pipe it to the poly tanks and to the cistern. You're gonna wanna see that. Very exciting. So I'm just gonna knock out these 2 pipes real quick, and then the fun begins. Woo! Looking real nice. That's perfect. That's perfect. Sealed up the inside, then the outside, then the inside again. I want to make sure we don't have no leaks.
We don't have no leaks?
I want to make sure we have no leaks. No use of the double negative, right? I just wanted to knock out the rest of those hooks real quick. Now that I got all of them in place, now I'm going to put up the last 2 PVC pipes, and then the fun part begins. I'll have to see if I have to make any last adjustments here toward the end because, you know, with the slope, got to make sure the pipe slopes with the gutter, and then everything comes down appropriately. So I've been using a Sawzall to cut all this PVC pipe, which is nice and fast, but I want to make sure this is a nice clean cut. I've done a lot of work up until this point, so I'm going to take my time, use a hand saw here, and then cut through this a little slower, but hopefully it's a nicer, cleaner cut. Much nicer. No chipping. Close, but should work very well. Luckily I didn't go too much further in. But this will be real nice. This will be real nice. Whoa. So one of the changes I decided to make on this, last minute change, is deciding whether to make this a dry system or a wet system. Now if I had made it a dry system, that means everything from the roof would empty out into the tanks immediately. But I would need to build some type of support system for the pipes coming off of the roof to the roof of the cistern. And although I could have done that, I think doing a wet system and kind of bringing it down and then back up again might be a little better for us. It'll give us a little more space for egress in between here, and it'll provide its own support system. I think it'll be the best way to go. That it will require me to dig a little, just a small, maybe 7-foot trench. I'm going to go 1 foot deep and then bring it back up, and then should be done. I don't think this will take too long, but you never know. I do like my digging. Is that deep enough, sir? Did I pass the inspection? Looks like it's coming along.
Yep.
Alright, we're getting there, we're getting there. And we gotta hurry too, because there's a 50% chance that it could be raining right now. My guess is it's the 50% that it's not going to rain, because it's not raining. But the clouds are heavy, they're thick. I feel like rain could come at any minute. So 50% right now, but it's gonna go up to 60%. So maybe we'll get a little water today, I don't know. Clean? Yeah. Clean. Super clean. Okay. Now this is technically our overflow pipe to the poly tanks. And to use a lot of the existing structures I have, I'm actually going to turn this into an inflow. Then that will be the overflow of both poly tanks. Plus we'll have an extra overflow built right into this pipe. You'll see what I mean. Can you believe this, Jess? We're almost there. Home stretch. Okay, I think we got her. Alright, so we pretty much got everything all set up to start collecting rain. But you always got to remember the #1 rule of rainwater harvesting, always plan for overflow. And in this instance, we already have an overflow pipe in place, but it doesn't extend quite far enough. So what I'm going to do is I still have more 3-inch pipe. I'm going to add it on here, and then I'll empty onto the roof of the cistern. Boom, we're catching that overflow as well. Well, I guess I got this set up just in time. Not only was this can just about empty, but the brush broke off. Whew. Just made it. Then just screen this up to keep all the buggos out. We should be good to go. So last but certainly not least, I'll get some mesh to screen out the tops of these pipes. Wow, what a nice thing to wake up to. Got a little bit of rain, not too much, but it's just enough to just kind of test everything out, see how everything's working. I love it. So it looks like we got everything done just in time. Catch a little bit of that rain. But now that I got everything in place and everything's kind of situated, let me take you on a little tour, show you how everything is supposed to work. So I strung up 110 feet of gutters going all the way across the roof. Of course, you need gutters. I just don't have enough ability to slope these gutters in one direction. So I wanted these gutters to drain as quickly as possible. So instead of just 2 downspouts, I've added 5 downspouts. And I've added a PVC pipe going along the whole stretch of the roof to catch all that water. Now, I was debating whether on making this a dry system or a wet system. In a dry system, I would have just taken the pipe and gone straight back over to the cistern, but I would have had to have built some type of support system to keep that pipe in place. So I decided to make it a wet system and pipe it down underground, up and over the cistern. The ground will kind of give it a little bit of support. We'll put some support along the gabion over here in the pipe, and some support over here. So how this should work is water will go into the pipes, down and up over here, and because of the difference in level, because the pipe up here is higher than the pipe over here, water will fill up and then move on over into our poly tanks. Here's where the design gets a little interesting. So when the water really starts flowing, it should come through this pipe and into the poly tanks. Now, just in case, we weren't sure if the flow here would be too great because it does come down to a 3-inch pipe. So if there is some backup, I didn't want it to back up over in the front of the pipes. So we added a little T here. And if there's just too much water flow for this pipe to handle, it should bubble out over here, right onto the roof of the cistern, and we'll be able to catch it there. But most of the water should go into our poly tanks, and then once the poly tanks fill up and the water equalizes, I also have an overflow over here. Now generally you want your overflow to be slightly lower than your inlet, but in this case it's going to be about an equal height. Not ideal, but it's kind of a temporary situation anyway. But once the poly tanks do fill up, we should overflow over here and then again into our major cistern. So since we're still using the poly tanks, we should be able to get a decent amount of water in those right now, and any excess will go into the cistern. Win-win. We should be able to catch and hold a ton of water. I'd say between the cistern and the poly tanks, maybe about 18,000 gallons of water. Nice. Just in case we don't need the poly tanks anymore and we don't want the majority of the water to get funneled through there first, this is also set up beautifully so that if we want the water to just go right to the cistern, I can just lop it off over here and all that water will go right to the cistern. We'll make a decision later on when it comes to that. But right now, we're just happy to be collecting that rain. Well, I'll tell you, it feels good to be collecting the rain again. So now we should be getting water into those poly tanks, and any excess will go into the cistern.
I'm pretty excited because it seems like monsoon season is here. Last month was really brutally hot and dry, and what a difference.
I'm happy, I'm so happy to be collecting that water again. I don't think it'll be too long before we start seeing flow going into those poly tanks. We'll take you along for sure, and we'll show you guys how all of it works together.
Now that we got this taken care of, we got to get back to the house.
Oh yeah, there's that little thing about the house. Obviously you can see we're busy and we still have a ton of stuff to do. So we'll let you guys go. Thank you so much for joining us. Really appreciate it. We'll catch you on the next video. Bye y'all.